Be advised, if the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch. Hello, my name is Harry Tambuadco and welcome to our program. Last week we ended up talking about qualitative versus quantitative representation, or what we call, or what we thought, or what we think the House of Representatives should have done. We will continue that discussion together with the same guest tonight. We have Attorney Alan Pagia and also Homobono Adasa, and of course Dr. John Tiope. Before anything else, all four of us would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Is it? It should be. It better be. Our topic tonight is going to be legally correct and morally sound, with a question mark. The emphasis of why there's a question mark, I leave to you after you watch our program. So, let's begin. Hello, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to everybody. At least nagpa-5-3 na tayo. Diretso na tayo. Kesa nagmamonolog pa, tumatagal pa, dumiretso na tayo exactly to where we are. Now, last week, we left off with, we were declaring that it was illegal, invalid, that the impeachment was not sound based on its presentation towards the Senate, and the legal thought then was likewise that the Senate should not have accepted the impeachment complaint. Over the week, I've read a couple of text messages and announcements and pronouncements of Attorney Pagia on exactly how things are going wrong. And now we see, no less, the IBP, its president, the academe that's beginning to unite. You know, at the rate this is going, the indecision and the conflict is just metastasizing, it's beginning to metastasize. The legal community is now going on one side for the Chief Justice, and of course you have the Filipinos who still believe on our president, on walang korap, walang mahirap, ang matuwid na daan, and that he is now going full steam, all fast forward against the Chief Justice, and now we're going to see the impeachment. Where are we? Where do you think it's going 1 week after our discussions last night? Let's start with you, Attorney Alan.
Well, the former president of the Integrated Bar, Attorney Vicente Millora, filed a petition last December 19 or 20, seeking the nullification of the articles of impeachment.
Where will that go? To the Supreme Court, no less?
It is with the Supreme Court.
Bakit hindi makagalaw ang Supreme Court? Yung Chief Justice nila is the real issue. Are we gonna see, ano yan, magdi-decide sila after, let's see. Alam mo, there's really perception, Attorney Alan, not for anything. I'm not going to try and play devil's advocate to the both of you, your legal minds. John is with the academe, I'm in broadcast journalism. There is a strong perception, and I agree with that. Simply because the law, the system, the judiciary is corrupt, and it's inept, it's incompetent, it takes decades for anything to be decided on. And this being the case, people are no longer made accountable. Like you said, it's not anymore the money that needs to be, that you need to slide over to these people. It's who you know. That's why these big name law firms, they peddle influence. Kung sinong kilala nila ng mga judges dyan, sila ang mananalo. There is two sides of it now. Where is that going? Because you still believe that we should stay within the bounds of the law without question.
As a professor of law, I have to keep on teaching what we learned. We make a distinction between what is, which is the real politique, and what should be, which is the rule of law.
But attorney, I am also in the academe. Sometimes what is being taught in the classroom is different when you practice it outside.
Well, that's very easy to understand. Precisely, in our Constitution, we wrote down our ideals and aspirations, not necessarily what is there, but we wrote into our Constitution, into our basic covenant as a people, what we collectively look forward to doing, which is, in one short sentence, to build a just and humane society. Observe the tense, meaning we still do not have a just and humane society. That's why we're trying to build. With the Constitution, our goal is to build a just and humane society, not necessarily a purely legal society.
But that would be dependent on the part of the people that would be implementing the law. So if we have the kind of system that we have, it's very impossible, because to build a just and humane society as if we're building a utopia, and that is very impossible.
I don't think it is near a utopian ideal, because it's just like building a good family. When we get our children to marry, we always wish them, we always admonish them to try to be the best they can, even if around them there are many bad influences. Meaning, it is possible to have a good family, therefore, it is possible to have a good society.
That would be dependent on the standards. Because as we look at standards of morality, what would be the standards of morality that we need to look at? If it is legally correct and morally sound, the concept right now is that the perspective of the people on looking at the direction of morality and the legally correct aspects. Remember, every lawyer that we have right now have different interpretations on how the law.
No, dalawa lang. Doon yung para kay Noy Noy at doon para kay CJ.
Dalawa lang naman. That's correct. There are not so many interpretations.
Dalawa lang.
Either for Pinoy, as Harry has mentioned, or for the Chief Justice. But the point is here. Tama si Alan. He was saying that we have to make a choice in what is and what should be. The should be is the ideal. The is what is happening, as pictured by you earlier. What is taught in the law schools is the ideal.
The ideal.
What is done outside the law school is the practice. That's why this country really needs a leader who knows the difference between what is and what should be.
Hindi naman abogado yung hepe natin ngayon, yung presidente natin, hindi abogado. Hindi naman, we don't require in the Constitution that he be a man of the legal profession.
No, but he can always get advice from the best and the brightest among the lawyers. He may not be a lawyer, but he comes from
You mean to tell me our president doesn't get the best advice from the best lawyers in the country?
I don't think so.
Pun intended.
I don't think so.
Is it legally correct and morally sound then?
It's illegally incorrect and morally unsound.
Kayo po, attorney.
What he's doing,
Morally out of tune.
it's not only out of tune, it's worse than that.
The president, we can concede that the president has access to the best lawyers or to the most intelligent or competent lawyers. That is not the problem. Because when you are in the top position of government, you have access to all the brightest and the best. But that is different from having the most honest. Because you may be bright, you may be the best in your profession, but if you lack honesty, if you cannot admit, if you cannot be honest enough to admit your own mistakes, especially your mistakes, never mind the credits, then the people will be deceived, and that deception will accumulate sooner or later.
This very deception is what won him the seat. Matuwid na daan, corruption, anti-corruption. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. Because it's his saintly mother who actually put him up there. But that is the very perception that he has promoted to the people, and he has won on that base. Assuming, of course, the COMELEC is correct in proclaiming him, which no one is, I know, no one's questioning it at this point any longer.
No, it is highly disputed. As a matter of fact, there is a petition in the Supreme Court pending. No?
Kayo nag-apply, di ba kayo?
The last pleading, I think, will be filed by me because I've been required by the Supreme Court to submit our comments on the answer of the former Speaker, Nograles, and the Senate President, Enrile. Now, I may do that within the next few days. And after the next few days, I will file a motion for immediate resolution. Because that's a very vital and historic issue.
But attorney, would they listen to you?
Would they listen to me? Well,
That's a qualitative complaint. Remember?
no, yeah, but the point is this, it is the Supreme Court that will make that decision.
Yeah.
I'm not making any assumption.
So gagawin na ng Supreme Court, hindi ka presidente, null and void yung eleksyon. Patay ka na. Era, back to power. Back to Malacanang.
Kasi
Is that correct?
No,
Not necessarily.
What will, assuming that what you have in mind may be the decision of the Supreme Court, what will happen is the Supreme Court will say that there is a failure of election. And there being a failure of election, necessarily under the Constitution, there's got to be another election, not only for the presidency, but of the various offices in this country, occupied now by different officials, senators, governors, mayors, members of the House of Representatives. But it's strategic in the sense that first, it will involve the issue of whether the senators and the congressmen were legally elected.
So you
If they
can't
were
have
not,
an impeachment.
Yeah, if they were not legally elected, that's a major problem. But even assuming that they were legally elected, as we mentioned last week, they have a major problem. You know, I was listening today over the radio this statement of Majority Floor Leader.
Crispin Remulla.
No, Tito Soto
Tito Soto,
of the
Senate,
Senate.
yes.
He was saying that they have no time frame with respect to the impeachment, but it will start on January 16
4 days a week.
and will end up not later than May. Imagine how ridiculous had he become. He said there's no time frame
And
that it will begin in January and end in May. They're assuring the people that it will end in May. Question, why is he assuming that the impeachment will continue? Considering the issues which have been raised by Vic Meliora and which Alan and I may raise tomorrow also in the Supreme Court, because we are still in the process of editing the impeachment, the petition that we are intending to file tomorrow, which is in very concrete detail with respect to the non-observance of the provisions of the Constitution by the members of the House of Representatives and also by the President himself.
Attorneys, how do we promote what is legally correct and morally sound? Please.
I'll give you one example. Executive Order Number 1, creating the Truth Commission. It was declared unconstitutional, and now it is being used as a ground for impeachment, allegedly because justices are pro-GMA, pro-previous administration.
Yes.
But what should the people know? What do the lawyers know about this decision? The only issue is not a paragraph. It is not a sentence. It is just not even a word. It is just one letter. Because the executive order was crafted against the previous administration. And for that reason, the Supreme Court struck it down as unreasonable classification, because graft and corruption is not a monopoly of any single previous administration. Therefore, had they only been honest, had the Malacanang lawyers only been honest,
Take that out.
and they really wanted to save the executive order, the following day they could have simply issued exactly the same executive order and just add S to previous administration, and the Supreme Court would not have any objection anymore. But now, instead of honestly admitting the legal short-sightedness, they are trying to make a moral issue out of it, saying that the justices had political motives for declaring the Truth Commission unconstitutional. That is not true. That is farthest from the truth, because it's just a question of adding the letter S in the term previous administration.
So, in effect, they are just trying to promote the dictatorial instincts of the president. Because instead of correcting, they insist on something that is wrong.
Yes.
Well, a lot of the movements in the current events this past week since our last show has shown or gives credence to what we call a creeping communism, or a very strong leaning towards the left. Another good example would be the case of Jovito Palparan and the military, now even in the NPA, going in arms or side by side with one single objective to get Palparan. While I find it scary, okay, and I like to read through the lines, which I shouldn't, are all the lawyers now, okay, itong mga legal, lahat dito, mga eskwelahan, and mga practicing lawyers, kalaban nila yung mga abogado ng presidente, parang ganon. Kaya nyo ba? O mas magaling sila? Parang ganon lumalabas eh. Para ang laban, di ba? Parang ang conflict, mga abogado ng presidente, miski mali sila, banat sila ng banat, and they're persistent, they refuse to give up. Pointing case, the letter S, all you had to do was add it, but no! They went ahead, 1 year later, impeach natin si CJ. Ano naman, gano'n ang nangyayari ngayon? Correct me if the divisiveness is getting worse.
But they are committing the mistake because the final resolution is based on the provisions of the Constitution. And the interpreter of the provisions of the Constitution is not the President, it's the Supreme Court.
Pero Harry,
so how can they possibly win in this fight? How?
Pero attorney, it's like more of a basketball eh. The attorneys of the president have the home court advantage.
No.
But he's saying the home court advantage is not that.
The home court advantage
is the Constitution.
It's the Constitution, and the Constitution...
But they have the president.
No, on the side of the Supreme
Pero
Court.
di ba labag na sila sa Constitution?
Labag.
You already said that. Tutol na sila sa Constitution.
Of course.
But why is it that we have, ang taong bayan, everybody's, alam mo, all the people I talk to, people are down the line eh. Those that are pro-Noynoy talaga, ang mga talagang diehard, talagang totoo naman eh. May mali naman ang judiciary eh. We have a very corrupt system and a very ineffective judicial system that's in place today. It only takes 100 years to resolve a case. Di ba? You have the COMELEC which is totally out of control. No, I'm making a farce out of it just to emphasize the point that the judicial system does not work. Now, here's a guy who honestly wants to do it and correct it. Birahin natin yung number 1 sa taas. Tama nga naman siya. Ganun ang tingin ng taong bayan. Pero, tama ba o mali? Mali.
Sa akin, mali.
Oo.
Kasi kung gagawin mo yan, dapat magsalamin ka muna. Kaya nga may sinabi, bago mo pansinin yung dumi sa mukha ng iba, magsalamin ka muna kasi baka mamaya meron kang sarili. O katulad yan, sabihin na natin merong impeachable ground. Eh si Pangulong Noynoy, wala bang impeachable ground dyan? Meron eh. Bakit? Number 1, yun na lang pagkakadeclare na unconstitutional ng Executive Order number 1, he exercised his presidential power, which was entrusted to him by the Filipino people to go against a particular component of a class in violation of the Equal Protection Clause. That is betrayal of public trust. Number 2, you allowed the Ombudsman, Mercedes Gutierrez, to resign pending an impeachment case for graft and corruption by no less than the Senate. Section 12 of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act says you are not allowed, we are not allowed we should not allow a public official who has a pending investigation or prosecution for graft and corruption to resign or retire. But he allowed it to resign or retire. That is an express violation. Section 12. Why do the 188 congressmen not see this? Why do the lawyers of Malacanang not see this? Why does the president not see this? In law school, there is a basic fundament there. What do we teach in law school? Ignorantia legis neminem excusat. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. Now, if we will be fair, we will have all those who will be found guilty, all those who have grounds for impeachment accountable. There's no problem with that. That's the end. The problem is with the means. Shall we do it with or without due process? That is the argument. Whether to hold the impeachable officers liable or accountable, there's no argument with that. They keep on pounding. Ikulong mo si Gloria. Ibagsak niyo yan si Corona. There's no problem. If they can be proven guilty, fine.
Why not?
But then, let us apply the law equally. Mr. President, you have incurred an impeachable offense. Betrayal of public trust. Instead of faithfully executing the law, you did the opposite by allowing Mercedes Gutierrez to resign pending an investigation prosecution for graft and corruption.
Why has
There you
anybody
are.
not filed impeachment complaints? It's only Congressman Alcober.
No, no, it's,
No, wala.
it's coming. The
So we have,
impeachment-
my
the
gosh, so
impeachment
there's
of the
going to be a
president.
new
Of
act in
course
the
it's
play.
coming. It's coming.
Okay, it's coming.
It's coming.
Bago mag-16 of January.
Yeah. So the point is, the Filipino people must understand that it is not so much trying to reform the society, because there is deception here. Why? Because you are yourself guilty of it. Sabi nga sa Bible, let he who has not sinned cast the first stone.
Correct.
But here is a clear example of an aching, impeachable ground, and yet the pro-liberal party stalwarts in the House of Representatives seem blind to it. Now, how can the Filipino people trust such kind of mentality?
You know, Alan, their main problem is what is known in the medical world as selective amnesia.
Yeah, selective.
I'm just worried that instead of just selective amnesia, they may actually be suffering from Alzheimer's. That's the major
But
problem.
attorney, the perception, general perception, sad to say, ang feeling talaga ng taong bayan, they've had enough of the judicial system.
No,
which is,
thank the mainstream media. The one creating that kind of perception is the mainstream media, because it's allied with the president. You know, mainstream media in this country.
ABS-CBN.
Yeah, they owe a lot to the mother of this fellow, the president of the Philippines.
Binalik mo sa kanila.
Yeah, they owe a lot to
So, ang
Cory.
taong bayan, let me take it this way, ang taong bayan is totally misled.
Taken for a ride.
Of course.
But the taong bayan wouldn't look at it as they being taken for a ride. Tinatanggap na lang nila yung sistema eh.
Because nobody is explaining it.
Kaya
If they
nga.
keep on listening to GNN, listening to Harry, and to all of us here, the perception will totally change. Because
Kaya ibinabalik lang natin doon sa kaugaliang Pilipino. Likas sa atin yan eh. Bilang magulang, ang tinuturo natin sa mga anak natin, yun dapat nilang iasal. Hindi yung kung ano inaasal na nakikita nilang mali sa kapaligiran nila. Yun yung yan yung reality, yan yung argument na yun eh. Politics, ano yan, numbers game yan. Sandali, wag ganyan. Kasi nga, kailangang iaho natin ang sarili natin dun sa maganda at tamang asal. Hindi yung sasabihin natin, sinungaling naman yung mga kaklase ko eh. Magnanakaw din yung mga kaklase. Pagka hindi ko magnaiwan ko yung cellphone ko, kukunin na iba, hindi mo na makikita. Yan ang realidad, tay. Sabi ko, kahit yan ang realidad, hindi tamang dahilan yan, hindi tamang katwiran yan para gumaya ka sa kanila. Ganon din ang dapat nating ituro sa pangkalahatan.
and there are three realities which we should teach our people.
But these people cannot win election. Hindi sila pwede manalo. Yung mga
Who?
taong matuwid ang daan, matuwid ang pag-iisip.
That's why we have to change the whole system. We cannot just live within the system
Yeah.
Starting
because
the
we will
electoral.
all go down the drain first.
At
The
yun,
people should be taught that the power of government is in their hands. Sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from them. So it's the right to learn what are their duties under the Constitution, because the power are in their hands. That's the most powerful power within the context of the Constitution.
let me point out the distinction there.
Gentlemen, before we go, we are right in the middle. We are at the bottom of the hour. We're going to have to take just a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. Not too much introduction and extra intro, whatever. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Lagi ko sinasabi dati na the news of today is the history of tomorrow. Ang problema, minsan, yung balita sa kasalukuyan, meron yatang mali. Ibig sabihin, mali rin ang kasaysayan. Naalala ko nung araw, nung bata pa, pinapanood ko yung katabi natin, si Atty. Bono Adasa. Siguro high school pa ako nun Sabi ko, ito'y magiging presidente ng Pilipinas. Pero nagkataon nakaligtaan ng kasaysayan at ngayon yung mga kabataan hindi na rin kilala si Atty. Bono Adasa. So siguro sa konsepto may problema yung media at problema dahil na lumabas na envelopmental media, bayarang media, para sumikat ka, magbayad ka at lahat-lahat ito. Even, they would make somebody to be magaling. At even isang palpak na senador, pinapagaling ng press release at mga public relations. Ngayon, the problem right now is that we have been idiotized by the system. Kaya nga sabi ni Atty. Pagya, kailangan natin ayusin yung sistema para naman yung tao ma-educate at para, sabi nga dati, bumalik sana sa grade 1 yung mga botante. Kasi pag grade 1 ka, pag bumoto ka ng grade 1 tayo, bumoto ka ng presidente, matalino, bumoto ka ng secretary, magaling magsulat, yung treasurer, marunong, pag news, maganda. Ngayon, bumoto tayo ng mayor, senador, ewan ko ano nga, kayo maghusga, ano ba yan, mga kaibigan. So, siguro balikan natin yung konsepto ng tanong, may pag-asa pa ba, Attorney Pagya, yung tao, na ma-change yung system? Kasi you're mentioning, yung sistema na kung saan kailangan maging mapanuri, mapag-isip. Sovereignty lies on the people. But that would be on a genuine democracy. Kasi I remember yung meron nung tinuturo to ng high school Real Democracy. Isa tong short story ni Rufino Blanco de Pambuana. Ang konsepto ng isang demokrasya ay ang lahat ng tao ay may kapasidad para mag-isip, maghusga, at merong objektibo sa pagpili ng kanilang mga kandidato. Pero ngayon sa nangyayari, hindi ganun
Totoo yun. Yung kasi yung batas, nakasalalay naman yan sa pangkaraniwang pangunawa. Sa Ingles, common sense. Kaya yung mga matatalinong mga tao, mga karaniwang mamamayan, madali nilang maintindihan ng batas. Kaya yung konsepto ng kung anong tama o mali, meron niyang translation sa batas. Yung alam ng pangkaraniwang tao, kaya nga sinasabi, ignorance of the law excuses no one. Bakit? Kasi yung sinasabing tama o mali ng batas, yung mabuti at masama ng batas, bata yun sa sentido común. Kaya walang mahirap doon. Ang problema lang, yung katulad ng pangkaraniwang pananaw na sinasabi, kanya-kanya interpretasyon yan. Hindi. Kasi sa law school, ang sinasabi, the law is either clear or not clear. When the law is clear, you just follow it. And much of the law are so clear, you don't have to interpret it. There's only a portion of it, a fraction of it, that needs interpretation. Yun yung kanya-kanya interpretation. And that's what we need the judiciary for, to clarify the ambiguous portions of the law. But as a general rule, there is no need for interpretation. Hindi tayo kailangan magtalo. Kasi maliwanag yung batas. Ang problema, kaya parang sinasabi ni Hari kanina na kanya-kanya interpretasyon, kasi hindi naman binabasa yung konstitusyon, hindi naman binabasa yung batas, nakikipagtalo. Kawawa naman yung mga nagbabasa ng batas. Katulad natin, sinasabi natin kung anong batayan sa batas, yung kalaban sasabihin, mali ka, hindi. Gusto namin makulong yung dapat makulong. Walang problema doon. Pero ang dapat na gawin nila, kumbaga sa law school, sabihin mo kung ano yung mali doon sa sinasabi na yung batas. Walang masasabing batas. Katulad yan, Executive Order Number 1. Simpleng-simple yung pagkakamali. Anong tunay na usapin dyan? Honesty. Ang hinihingi lang ng tao, hindi naman kailangan maging perfecto ang mga abogado ng administrasyon Pero yung ba namang pagkakamali nila na dinagdagan dapat ng letter S na tinuro ng Korte Suprema? Kaya unconstitutional kasi isa lang ang gusto nyong tumbukin
May masasagasang iba.
Oo, dapat isama nyo lahat. Isama nyo yung kay Ramos, kay Erap,
si
pati kay Tita Cory. Ayaw siguro isama. Kaya nga, naging unconstitutional. Kaya, it is not fair. It is doubly dishonest to say, to use this Executive Order Number 1 decision as a ground for impeachment because talaga namang on the merits, objectively, it's not a matter of interpretation. Read it! Previous administration lang ang tinatarget doon.
Alam mo, I would like to go back to that question of yours, Dr. Chiopi. You mentioned, is there hope for this country? Of course, there is hope for this country. We are 95 million Filipinos. If the Israelis before before building the country. They were only less than 3 million, and there was hope for them. There should be hope for 95 million Filipinos. Where lies the hope?
Kaya lang yun, the 95 million are only controlled by the few oligarchs.
We know that. But the issue is, can we do anything about it? Yes, we can do something about it. And it's in the Constitution. As I mentioned previously, if the people will only know what the rights are and will not be idiotized, as Harry mentioned, and continuously idiotized, and they are educated, they will exercise their rights. If there is no agreement among the different branches of government, they cannot settle this issue. The people will settle it for them. And you know who will help under the Constitution? Who will help them settle the people? Who are the protectors of the people in accordance with the provision of the Constitution?
Section 3.
Section 3, Article 2. The Armed Forces of the Philippines is the protector of the people and the state. The main problem is the Armed Forces of the Philippines, in many ways, is behaving not to protect the people, but to protect the oligarchs and the aristocrats. We know that. As a matter of fact, look, the communists in this country, communists are saying over and over again that they are fighting for the underprivileged, for the poor. Okay, it's assumed that they are correct. On the other side, the military is composed basically of the poor, and the poor are killing the poor. They are killing each other while the oligarchs and the aristocrats are having the time of their lives. Don't you think everybody should examine their own brains, if they have any, of what is wrong totally with the system when the Constitution provides remedies for what seems to be irremediable? You know, during the time of Marcos, when I was there saying the Marcos machine was impregnable, there is no such animal in the legal dictionary in the world as impregnable. The Soviet Union was demolished. It was not impregnable. The system up to Chiang Kai-shek in China was demolished. Nothing is impregnable. Gaddafi, for 40 years, was demolished. He was not impregnable. When the people start thinking of the rights and the responsibilities, nothing is impregnable.
Which means, Ari, nakita ko ganito eh. Ang punto niyan is, we have so many nationalistic Filipino, but we have only few patriotic Filipino. Kasi, the concept of nationalism and patriotism is different eh. Ang konsepto ng nationalismo eh, it is only an emotional concept that you love your country, you do, alam mong Pilipino ka, pero wala kang ginagawa. Pero if you're a patriot enough, you are within the system, you would do something. Just same to the military. We have so many nationalistic military, but there are only few patriotic military, and even patriotic congressmen and patriotic senators.
Is this such a thing?
That would be the problem. So, kasi the concepto ng patriotismo is they're ready to die for their country, sacrifice. Sabi nga ni
No, I disagree with you. This was my basic disagreement with Ninoy Aquino.
Yeah.
When he was saying that the Filipinos are worth dying for. I told him, in the presence of the late Vice President Laurel, I don't agree with you. The Filipinos are not worth dying for. Because if we die for the Filipinos, the rascals will continue to govern. The Filipinos are worth fighting for. And they in the extreme need killing for. And he could not give me a reply. Ninoy could not give me a reply.
Yeah. What's going to happen on January 16? If we don't see any earth-shaking movements, legal movements, either to delay or to make invalid what the 188 representatives have filed into the Senate for impeachment, if there is no earth-shaking movement and before January 16th, can we safely say the Constitution is doomed?
Well, insofar as the Millora petition is concerned, that petition created the possibility, it gives the Supreme Court the opportunity to do what is right and to minimize the mistake in the impeachment process.
So kaya ba nila gawin natin, Boy?
Yes, they can issue a TRO pending the resolution of whether there is sufficient ground to nullify the articles of impeachment or not. There is nothing for the Senate to try if the articles
will they not be misconstrued by the public? sabihin
Which
ng
one?
public, you're saving your Chief Justice.
Correct. That is why the impeachment process, which was hastily conducted, is a blackmail on the Supreme Court, on the 15 justices, because now they are in a position where you are now describing them. They have not done it yet, and yet you are already attributing
Inunahan
political
mo na.
motives. That is why it is a blackmail on the justices, on our judicial system, on the independence of the
Don't
Supreme
try
Court,
it,
not
sinasabi. Oh.
on the 188 congressmen for their
So
quarrel.
there's no hope.
The blackmail is on
That's
the
where
Supreme
the
Court.
blackmail
They
is.
cannot decide now
At Atty.
without
Pagya.
being placed under
Atty. Pagya.
cloud of suspicion.
Suspicion.
You know, there is hope.
There's no hope. Sala ka sa init, sala ka sa lamig.
No,
Ganun gagawin.
there is hope, you know. You know,
No,
Dr.
but if
Chupi,
the
the
Supreme
hope
Court,
is this.
if they just collectively, pagbababan lang sila, so what? Mali ang basa nyo. This is still correct. What is correct does not have to be popular.
Yeah,
Diba?
that's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Tama?
That's
right.
what's right. But on the assumption that the Supreme Court will be subject to the blackmail.
Yes.
That
If they will be.
They will allow.
Yeah,
Perception. But the perception is no matter what they
this
do.
is the consequence, Hari, which is, as somebody mentioned, as you mentioned it here this evening, will there be anything that will be shocking that will happen? There will be something that will be shocking on several levels. The first level is the House of Representatives is already a failure. The presidency is already a failure. If the Senate continues with the
Senate will be a
impeachment, is a failure. And if the Supreme Court will subject itself to the blackmail, it's also a failure.
Sovereignty lies on the people.
What happens when everything has failed? There's got to be an extreme solution under the Constitution. Now, will the people, will the military wake up to the rights and responsibilities? That's the problem. Because if they do, there will be a tsunami here. There will be a storm worse than Sindong and Ondoy. And they will reap the whirlwind. Do they like that? We should avoid reaping the whirlwind by following the Constitution.
But, Attorney, kung ang masa ay mangmang at hindi naintindihan at nanonood ng mga game show na pwede pagkitaan, ano mangyayari sa bayan?
Well, mapasama tayong lahat, natural. But if they keep on listening to our arguments, and there are people even outside.
Pero the problem, attorney, is that the military is fed up. Sabihin nila, we always do it. Palagi na kaming gumagawa. We practice Article 2, Section 3, and yung namumuno at pinalit namin sa sistema ay yung mga abuso.
No, they do it because of a mistake. It's about time they learn that they should not commit a mistake over and over again.
I read
They
your
have
book,
committed several mistakes over and over again, from Hunasan to Trillanes.
Alam mo, hindi ko alam kung dapat ako kabahan
You know,
o maging mas masaya or optimistic.
their objectives are limited, very limited. As a matter of fact, I talked with General Lim, Danny Lim. I was talking to him. What happened to these boys? How can they pull Iko by occupying a hotel? That's not in the... If you read the basic books on Kodita, like Edward Luttwak's book on Kodita, or another allied book on Kodita, what they have done is in violation of the basics of a coup. Now, if you don't know how to pull a coup,
Don't
you
even-
better do something else. Hindi ba? Why should they disturb our situation? Let the people who know how to pull it do it, and maybe they should follow those who can do it and do it well.
Say something about the quotation from the Supreme Court, from the Constitution. No? Sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. The distinction that we must bear in mind is the one between authority, which is the duty, and power, which is the ability. They do not always go together. The ideal is whoever is given the authority should have the power. But in our society, those who are given the authority have less power than the big businessmen, than the Makati Business Club, and therefore, they are powerless as against these bigger powers. And what they have is merely the sovereignty or the authority from the people, the mandate, the duty to do what is right for the people. But what if the power of the economic powers bear on them, not only local but also international? There are such powers. Even the banking cartels exert pressure on our leaders. Now, the power of the people is an extreme measure. And we should try to avoid waking up the sleeping giant. Why? Because that will be very costly in terms of human cost, in terms of human lives.
And money.
And that is why we should not do that. Our candidates or our politicians who volunteer to exercise part of that authority to perform the duties to promote the common good should stand up to the other powers outside of the Filipino people's sovereign powers. But are they doing that?
No.
And that is what the people are watching for. And that is what the military leaders in the armed forces should also be conscious of. That their government, while they are run by people who are elected, only have authority of the sovereign people, but not necessarily the power. And that whatever power they have may be inferior to other powers in the environment.
But what we're seeing now is not just calisthenics. You have to agree. This is not just calisthenics. This is the real thing.
Of course. And
We're playing with fire.
we are playing with a conflagration, not just fire. You see, Alan is correct that normally those who have the authority do not have the power, like the case of the people. But we saw in one particular occasion, not only once, but twice, that the people, prodded also by the same vested interest, rebelled against Marcos and rebelled against Erap. So the mistake lies on the choice of leaders. If the correct leaders emerge, then we will be on the road.
But we
to
had
salvation.
the correct leader. We kept her there for 9 years. Now she's under house arrest.
No,
not for unintended again. A little bit of sarcasm there. I mean, I'm not saying she's the best, but
No. That's what I thought at the beginning.
Yeah, hindi tayo nag-people power. Ando doon sa 9 anyos. And then ngayon, binabarata ng taong bayan. Ano ba naman ang Pilipino?
How could we have an elected leader that is the people's choice kung pagdating sa election, yung mga nananali, mga mandaraya?
No, we know that. You know that. We cannot produce a leader through elections. It will take a miracle to do that.
Abolish COMELEC?
No, not maybe do something beyond just abolishing the COMELEC. When you install a new system in the country, of course, COMELEC will be abolished. It's a useless mechanism to elect public officials within the context of the democratic system. As a matter of fact, most of these people should go to jail. They should go to jail.
That's another topic we've got to attack.
No,
The next time around, we gotta talk about the COMELEC, you know.
Because you know what happens. Even before the election, people in the COMELEC in various levels approach candidates, including those in the party list, and it's a matter of common knowledge. They approach them, if you want to win the election, we will take care of it for so much consideration. So those people who do not believe in the representation, this is what they'll do. Keep on hammering, winning the election, you win the election, but you lose the proclamation. Because it's the COMELEC that makes the ultimate determination
That you
of
are
whether
the-
you will be proclaimed or not. It's the proclamation that's important.
Same as to what happened to the 1988 senatorial election?
The 1987.
87, yes.
Yeah, the same thing that happened. We were computerized out of the Senate. Imagine, how can you battle 4 million votes all over the country? A majority of computerized votes, 4 million. Imagine, people...
So what do you call the senators who won during that time?
Computerized senators. And I told Rene Sagisan, he could not answer. How could Lina be possibly elected in Mindanao? You tell me. Lina, the only word, the only word that is associated with Lina in Mindanao is Palina. Meaning, you know, the one you see in church, that's called Palina. Maybe he was casting it on it. But in number of them, how could he? Ople, Tolentino, these are giants. Enrile, Erap, so many. Rodriguez.
May mga pangalan eh.
May mga pangalan. Recall. Di ba? Senatorial elections is a matter of recall, as everybody is saying, other than the machinery. But, you know, Cory had the machinery in the election in arm. In arm. Everybody, congressman, mayor, governors, campaign in arm for the conversion of 13 provinces and 11 cities into arm. You know what happened? There were only 3 of us who fought them. They lost in 11 cities and they lost in 11 provinces.
Gentlemen, we are at the top of the hour, and again, we are running out of time. But before anything else, I'd like to promote the book one more time. Ideas, Principles, and Lost Opportunities by Homobono Daza. You can get this at the Los Solidaridad.
Yes.
And what other
Popular
bookstore?
Bookstore.
And Popular Bookstore. But before we end, a message from our guest as we go along. So let's start with Attorney Homobono Daza.
Well, I'd like to quote a friend of mine on the level of the heart and the mind. I've done this before, but I think it's apropos in this particular program. George Bernard Shaw and Robert Kennedy, who chorused in saying, "People see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. Why not ask for a better Philippines, democratic and for the people."
Maraming salamat po. Attorney Alan Pagia.
The hanging question is, what can be done about it? How can we reform our society? We must, dapat magsimula yan sa ating kamulatan. Kailangang mamulat ang mas maraming mga kababayan natin sa katotohanan na nagiging balakid para ma-reforma natin ang ating lipunan. Ano yon? Makapangyarihan ang ating pamahalaan, hinahalal ang mga namumuno dito. Ngunit tandaan po natin na sa ating lipunan, dito sa loob ng Pilipinas at sa labas ng Pilipinas, ay may mga grupo na higit ang kapangyarihan kaysa kapangyarihan ng ating pamahalaan na siyang nagiging balakid upang maisulong ng ating pamahalaan na honest to goodness yung kapakanan na nakakarami sa ating mga kababayan.
Very well
Okay.
said. John?
Okay, palagi po itong sinasabi ng ilan sa mga lumalaban sa katiwalian. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing, sabi ni Edmund Burke. Pero the problem is that yung mga good man ba ay talagang lumalabas? Ang problema, yung mga nagreklamo ay walang nga rin. Reklamo yung evil. It's not hindi naman sinabi all that necessary to for evil to triumph is for evil, necessary evil to do something. So ang punto dito ay maglabasan na sana yung matitinong tao. At maglabasan dyan ng magagaling at mga malilinis na tao. Sumama sa advokasya ni Attorney Adasa at ni Attorney Pagia. Because ang onti lang po ang lumalaban, pag onti lang po yan, hindi po makikita yung kwalidad. Marami pong qualitative people at qualitative at merong mga malalim na pananaw sa ating buhay. Ang problema, nagtatago kayo sa inyong mga bahay. Lumabas po kayo at makisama sa advokasya para sa pagbabago ng ating bayan.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we end the show, well, and Talk to Harry, that was our Christmas gift to you. A message that we hope you, well, sana maintindihan nyo, no? At dibdibin nyo. At tama nga, sabi nga ni Jan, well, wag lang kayo umupo dyan, kumain ng popcorn, kumain ng liempo, mahahartata ka lang, tumayo ka, mag-exercise ka. Kaysa pawisan ka lang sa wala, gumawa ka ng sapat. Maraming salamat po. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. You are what you watch.